which was the lowest attended game among the opening 6 matchups in group play. This had some observers wondering if the presence of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese would have the stands packed for Team USA. They drew the worst crowd. Team USA draws the lowest attendance. How's it feel?
Stephen A. Smith just shook things up with a fiery take on Team USA basketball. Can you believe Caitlin Clark didn't make the Olympic roster? Yes, Caitlin Clark, the one setting the WNBA on fire and breaking attendance records. Stephen A. didn't hold back, and now everyone's asking, did Team USA just make a massive mistake? Let's talk about Caitlin Clark for a minute. This isn't just a player who racks up points, she's a game changer. In college, she was a scoring machine, smashing records and making people actually stop and watch women's basketball like never before. And if you're thinking, sure, she dominated in college, but what about the pros ? Well, she's doing more than just keeping up, she's leading. Since joining the WNBA, Caitlin has been electrifying. Her games draw over 16,000 fans on average, more than anyone else in the league. That's superstar-level attention, and remember this year's WNBA All-Star Game. It hit an record 3.4 million viewers, up 300% from last year. Guess who was one of the biggest names driving that? Caitlin Clark isn't just playing basketball, she's a phenomenon. Packed arenas, skyrocketing TV ratings, and non-stop social media buzz. It's like the sport gets bigger every time she steps on the court. Now here's the baffling part. How could Team USA leave her off the Olympic roster? It's like owning a luxury sports car and deciding to walk instead. Stephen A. Smith said it best. Caitlin Clark is box office. In sports today, it's not just about talent, it's about drawing fans, boosting ratings, and creating excitement, and she checks all the boxes. The Olympics are supposed to showcase the best of the best athletes who dominate the game and captivate the world. So why isn't Caitlin Clark on that stage? It's a question that has everyone talking, and for good reason.
That Caitlin Clark should have been on the team ahead of the 12 people selected ahead of her because of basketball. No. Team USA draws the lowest attendance. How's it feel?
Now, no one in women's basketball is grabbing attention like Caitlin Clark. She's the player everyone's talking about, and for good reason. But here's the kicker. Team USA didn't include her on their Olympic roster. Considering their recent struggles in international play, it's a decision that's raising eyebrows. Let's rewind for a second. Team USA hasn't exactly been the unstoppable force we're used to seeing. Remember the 2019 FIBA World Cup? They didn't even medal, they finished 7th. That's not just a bad day, that's a wake-up call. And it's not just about losing games. It's about how they're playing and how little excitement they're generating. Take their recent opening game against Japan. Want to guess how many fans showed up? Just 4,500, that's it. To put that in perspective, other games in the same tournament, like Spain and China, were packing in crowds of 27,000 and 21,000. Team USA, with all their supposed star power, couldn't even fill a small arena. So, what's the problem? They got plenty of talent on the roster, but there's something missing, a spark. They need a player who doesn't just perform but pulls people in. Someone who dominates on the court and creates buzz off it. You know who fits that description? Caitlin Clark. Caitlin is more than a great player, she's a game changer. She's the kind of athlete who makes fans tune in, hits social media buzzing, and fills arenas. She's already proven that with her record-breaking WNBA performances and massive crowds. Imagine her on the Olympic stage, nailing deep threes, making jaw-dropping passes, and energizing the crowd. That's exactly the kind of excitement Team USA is missing right now. Stephen A. Smith called it out. Leading Caitlin Clark off the roster isn't just a bad decision, it's an embarrassing one. It's not just about empty seats, it's about lost opportunities. The Olympics are the ultimate stage, where the world watches and legends are made. Team USA had a golden chance to showcase one of the most exciting players in basketball, and they passed. Smith is right, marketing matters. In today's sports world, it's not just about winning, it's about creating a product fans can't resist. Caitlin Clark is that product. She's the player who could have turned those empty stands into sold-out crowds and made Team USA the talk of the tournament. By leading her out, they didn't just miss out on a player, they missed out on the future of the game.
I can't stand the Olympics. I'm not talking about the games. I'm not talking about the competition. I'm talking about the way the Olympics treats people, particularly the media. I said Marketing matters in everything. Promotion matters in everything. And you're not going to get around that. That is what I said. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That's why you should have had Caitlin Clark.
The Olympics aren't just about winning medals. They are about showcasing the world's best athletes and generating excitement for the sport. And right now, no one in women's basketball is creating more buzz than Caitlin Clark. Think about it, Caitlin has been packing arenas, averaging over 16,000 fans per game with the Indiana Fever. That's 4,000 more than the next closest team. Her star power is undeniable, and she's been drawing in viewers, breaking records, and elevating the game. Imagine the energy, the buzz, and the global attention she could bring to Team USA. But this goes beyond filling seats. It's about creating a brand. The NBA figured this out years ago when they sent their most marketable stars to the Olympics. Remember the Dream Team? That wasn't just about gold medals. It was about turning basketball into a global phenomenon. Team USA had a chance to do the same for women's basketball with Caitlin Clark, but they passed. It's not just a missed chance to showcase her talent, it's a missed opportunity to grow the game. Highlight reels, social media buzz, merchandise sales, and sponsorships. All of that could have skyrocketed with Clark on the roster. In a world where attention is currency, leaving her off the team is a costly mistake. Some argue that Clark's youth and lack of international experience were factors in her exclusion. Others say it was about team chemistry, but here's the thing. Are those reasons strong enough to overlook a player who's already reshaping the game? Caitlin isn't just a scorer, she's a playmaker. Her creativity, court vision, and ability to hit impossible shots could have transformed Team USA's offense. But it's not just about her skills. It's about what she represents, the future of women's basketball. Leaving her off the roster isn't just a short-term oversight, it's a missed opportunity to build for the future. Even Dawn Staley, one of the selectors, admitted that if the roster had been decided later, Clark's chances would have been much higher. Staley acknowledged that Clark is now playing on a completely different level, head and shoulders above many players. So, what's the solution? Maybe it's time for Team USA to rethink its approach. What if they started valuing more than just experience? What if they prioritized marketability, star power, and the ability to grow the game?
Speaking of NBC's Mike Tirico, South Carolina coach Dawn Staley said Clark's chances of making the team would have been a lot higher if she and her fellow committee members were selecting the roster today rather than several weeks ago. Caitlin Clark is just a rookie in the WNBA. Wasn't playing bad, but wasn't playing like she's playing now. If we had to do it all over again, the way that she's playing, she would be in really high consideration of making the team because she's playing head and shoulders above a lot.
Globally, experts agree, Caitlin Clark isn't just a player, she's a game changer. She excites fans, creates buzz, and draws new eyes to women's basketball. That's exactly what Team USA needs to stay dominant on the world stage. The Olympics are about more than just competing. They are about showcasing the best and building a legacy. Caitlin Clark is one of the brightest stars in basketball, and leaving her out feels like benching your MVP in a championship game. This isn't just about one player or one tournament, it's about the future of women's basketball. How can Team USA balance tradition with innovation? How can they honor their system while embracing the rising stars who are redefining the game? It's a tricky balance, but if Team USA wants to stay on top, they'll need to figure it out. Because with players like Caitlin Clark, the potential to grow women's basketball into a global powerhouse is right there, waiting to be tapped.